Hi. I messed up 2 days ago. There is no excuse. I literally messed up because we had visitors. I have been taken out of my natural habitat, for lack of a better word. The summer vacation is something that I almost dread. I've been doing that for 3 years because when I do, I get taken out of the natural rhythm, and that completely screws me with my brain. So yeah, Tuesday, I was actually asked, aren't you going into the office today? I was like, I'm not sure. Do I have anything that I have to do? Completely forgot about the stream. So I'm sorry about that, but I also, because of that, I figured out that there is actually a discussion section on YouTube. So if that happens, if you go into the YouTube channel, it says discussion, and in there I will post anything that is relevant to the stream. So that's going to be interesting. I've also been working on the whole email update thing, education almost thing, where instead of me trying to multiply myself, I've been setting up these sequences almost so that people can take a step into a journey from the beginning, and then I'm trying to structure it. So it's going to be interesting. Other than that, huge things are happening. Huge, amazing things are happening. Like, I'm slightly not really sure that it could be happening, but it is. So I have an interview on the 5th, which is going to bring about big changes. And I can't wait to share that with you. And also the whole other thing that I can't share with you just yet. There's so many things that I can't share with you. But I'm looking forward to it because it's gonna completely change everything, where I can put in some extra content and production value and value in general. So I'm looking forward to it. Let's see. Chris. It's good to see you, bro. It's been too long. It's been like a week. Holy shit. It's already a week, which is insane. Also, I have really started to kind of get into my whole authentic self, where I don't hold back, right? And I'm a big advocate for psychedelics. Just gonna go out in there and say it. We're gonna talk about it a lot on this stream, and right now we are in the beginning of the season in Norway, which means that I have to create some pamphlets, some guides, some field guides and stuff. So if you have any questions regarding psychedelics, be that how to go about them, what you can use them for, how to prep, all that stuff. I do not condone the use of narcotics deemed illegal by the laws and all that stuff. But for those people who choose to do these on their own terms, I don't have any problem with that. I just want you to be safe. So we have to make sure that everyone who goes into that is safe while doing it, because it is literally a different world, right? And it has, if it wasn't for that medicine, I would not have been here today. And I've been talking to doctors, I've been talking to lawyers, I've been talking to psychiatrists, I've been talking to a lot of people who is using these things, and they're scared to say that they are because it's illegal. Now, I have had a lot of change over the years, and contrary to what a lot of people would think, you don't need to continuously use psychedelics to have the benefits. It's a entry. It's like a key to a different kingdom. And when you go in there, you can start doing these personal development things on your own, and you'll have a shortcut, basically. Ayahuasca is definitely a psychedelic drug. Yes. I also have a friend called Keith. I haven't had him on this channel, but we have had him on the group, the Facebook group. So if you're not in the Facebook group, facebook.com/thefmlproject. Nope, I lied. facebook.com/groups/thefmlproject. And there's a lot of videos, a lot of streams, a lot of interviews and podcasts and stuff in there where we talk to people about ayahuasca. We talk about psychedelic trips. We talk about spiritual journeys, personal development. We talk about a lot. So this is kind of the YouTube channel is the last iteration of that. Chris, I have not had the ayahuasca experience personally, but I am called. I feel called to do it. And when I do, I have a very specific place that I'm going to do it in the Amazon. I'm going to go into the place where close to Iquitos or something, because so many people are using this as a way to kind of make money, mainstream money, right? And I hate that when I see people who get raided because they had an ayahuasca ceremony inside of a flat in an apartment building in the middle of a city. Something just gets lost, because ayahuasca is kind of the spirit psychedelic, whereas mushrooms and stuff. This is interesting because what I've seen with how I use the medicine, let's say weed have different uses, right? Different strains to different things that you want to cure. If you want to eat more, you can have this. If you want to sleep, you can have this. If you want to be productive, you can have this. Shrooms are the same thing. They are more of a, if you want to understand music more, you can do this. If you want to see more of the eighth dimension, you can do this. If you want to see how frequencies work and feel them on your body, you can take this. If you want to learn more and see the world in a pink filter, you can do this. You know, it's really interesting because they have different capabilities and different features per strain, which fascinates the living crap out of me. And ayahuasca is the spirit realm. It's where you go in there and you talk to the spirits of the forest. You talk to the spirits of the jungle. And Keith, my friend who is my ayahuasca expert, he had the spirit guides imprinted in him almost. Like he had a guardian on his heart. And that guardian wouldn't let people in. Now there's people who say that they're psychic, right? They can see the truth in people's hearts and stuff. They couldn't on him. They said that normally I can see things, but I can't on you because there's a big ass bull watching your heart. So it's really interesting. But it also have the other part. Whereas a bad trip is where the shroom shows you what you need to work on, right? You get shown your worst fears, the things that you need to address. And you get this presented to you. And you have a choice to embrace it or to fight it. And if you fight it, it's going to result in a bad trip. Ayahuasca have the same thing, where you have these literal demons almost walking around doing things. It's really interesting. I cannot explain the full effect of it because I haven't tried it myself yet. And I hate to talk about things that I haven't tried. But I've talked to Keith so much about these things that I'm kind of fascinated and called, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be interesting because I felt called to do psychedelic mushrooms the first time. I felt called to do all these things because I was incrementally getting into it. I was researching meditation, which got me into how I could use tools to further expand on the meditation, which led me to quantum meditation and astral projection and all that stuff. And all of a sudden, lo and behold, you have something called 𝐓𝐾 meditation. I was like, what is that? Now, I did not know it was called 𝐓𝐾 meditation. I'm not even sure where I saw that. It might even be something that I got in the meditation. I have no idea. But 𝐓𝐾 meditation is, it really works. All right, we have a lot to talk about. Literally, I was the most jealous person I have ever known. I don't know anyone who were more jealous than me. And I got that cured by sitting in the jail. By sitting in prison, I couldn't do anything other than face my fears, right? I could not control my partner. I could not check up on her. I could not do anything that I wanted to do. So I was sitting in there facing this, even though I didn't want to. That kind of burned it out of me. And in psychedelics, you get this shortcut. You get presented with it, and you can take it. The day after, though, you get this clarity. So if you are in it, not to just see visuals, not to just have a party, not to just do all these things that many people do with psychedelics, you go in with an intention of being a better person. You get showed what you have to work on. And when you do so, you think with your entire brain. There's this picture where a ball have a few strains of string around it. And that's your brain normally. Your sense of hearing communicates with the sounds you hear. Your sense of seeing communicates with the things you see. All these things, right? But on psychedelics, everything is interconnected. So it's kind of weird when you smell something and you realize that you heard blue. So everything is kind of communicating. That effect really produces it's like tossing fuel on fire for neurogenesis, creating new neurons, new neural connections, and seeing what really matters, because you feel love. You become love. It's like this overwhelming feeling of love, and you have such a tangible understanding of the feeling, the emotion, that you can kind of intuitively use it. It's for those people who have not had the experience, no explanation is possible. For those who have had it, none is necessary. Ram Dass said that. Really, yeah, it's true. I find it hard to meditate. I'm surrounded. Whoop, hold on. I'm surrounded by a lot of distractions. Well, that's I like that. That's a good. Nice, because we have worked on a lot of things, and meditating is such an individual thing. It's such an intimate thing, where I'm going to go in here because then people can see that you're actually writing. Meditating is such a personal thing that it has no blueprint. There's no recipe. It's you getting to know your own thoughts, right? I went through a lot of meditations, but the one that I had most effect of, the one that kind of changed my life, was a meditation that is created by one called 𝐏 𝐒𝐡𝐈, and it has hundreds of thousands of case studies behind it, and is literally the science behind law of attraction. Now, Chris, if you have not tried this, I want to give you something. If you head over to the FMLproject.com/sign-up, or just go into the FMLproject.com and create a free account, you will see in the members area there is a link to that free meditation. Now, it's 21 minutes long, but everyone who's tried it has had some sort of result, right? In the beginning, it's kind of weird. It's kind of new. It's unfamiliar. It's all those things. But with practice, it becomes better. And we are trying to create, or well, I am trying to create more shorter meditations, like entryway meditations for those people who want to subconsciously reprogram their minds, and astral project, and remote viewing, and healing, and manifesting. All these things that we will talk so much more about, you can see in there. There's also a document, or a ebook, I can almost call it, on the fmlproject.com/LOA, Law of Attraction. Well, this is the science behind the Law of Attraction, where we talk about the electromagnetic field, the field that goes around everyone, right? And how we can communicate with that, and how that is actually being done. And it's truly, it changed my life, because I'm a guy who don't really like the woo-woo. I don't like religion, because it's like you get told to believe in something that you can't see, you can't measure, you can't do anything. And because of that, I had a hard time believing in it. And then you have this whole be positive, right? Well, that doesn't work at all if you don't know why you should be positive. So I focused on the science behind it. I focused on the journey of the thought, how the thought comes from the intangible, becomes tangible, have a frequency, a signature, how that signature goes through your body, the entire process in your body, how that is getting communicated to the world, and how that, within the laws of physics, Newton's law of energy attracts more of the same, and the electromagnetic field, the hertz, some concepts or some actual case studies, some examples. 9/11, for instance, we saw this boop on the world's energy field. Is really insane. Be positive. Yeah, be positive is a good thing, but most people are like, be positive, right? And they're sitting there on a rainbow fart, and they don't really know the meaning of it. So they just try to force a smile. They just try to force everything positive. And if they're pissed off, well, they're just smiling through it like crazy psychopaths, right? But then you have the other thing where you are positive because you know the balance. You have been through the shit, or you know the significance of the contrast to the positive. So you know the meaning of being positive. You know how to reframe a bad situation. Now, if you're just forcing positivity, if you are sitting on a rainbow fart, then you will go straight into the basement if you are struck with something that is negative. If you are struck with trauma, if something bad happens in your life, you have no way to get back up because you've been forcing the positivity for too long. So it's that balance. Oh, yes, yin yang. Dude, I'm so glad that you're here. Truly am, because we will talk about a lot of things, and I think a lot of people are looking for a community, and with everything that's happened, this is becoming that community. We now have just over 100 people in the group on Facebook, and we have 3,500 people in a different group that I'm still trying to figure out how to communicate this with without being called a cult leader. Because literally, it's the result of this. Just they don't know that, right? So they're trying to be, no, just leave the shrooms alone and all that stuff. Really interesting. But without further ado, let's jump into this very short video of the challenge, because 4 minutes. I have no idea why it was just 4 minutes, but let's see what I was up to back in the day, and then we'll talk a little bit after the video, and then yeah, I think we're on a good roll. I have a few more updates, I think, that I'm going to think about during the next 4 minutes. So let's do it. Day 4 out of 100. Today I haven't set up the cameras as I should, or as I have previously, because that camera, all of a sudden figured out it's not going to have any more battery, so I should probably have charged that. My bad. I mean, I don't know what to talk about today, actually. I don't want to do any marketing terms and stuff. That's not, I don't know, that's kind of a boring subject, and if you want that, sure, I'll make a video about it, but this is more about trying to find my way to guide you towards yours, and it's a path, man. It's a learning curve and process. So thank you for being part of it and watching as we're doing this. I'm just, every day behind the scenes, I'm looking at different ways to bring more to the videos, be that graphics, be that outreach, be that something, and just evolve and develop along the way. And I hope that you appreciate the process and that you are willing to do the same thing, because if you are, who knows, maybe you also can make your dream life happen. It's all in the mind, man. It's all in the mind, the actions you take, and how prepared and willing you are to work for it. That's it. It seems like it's an easy thing, but it's more than that. I mean, I have not had processed sugar in a long time. I guess that's it. Stay true. Don't force something that you're not upon yourself, because that will be just, it will look weird. You will feel weird. Somewhere along the line, you're gonna regret doing that at all. So be yourself. Look past other people's judgment. If they're judging you for something, they probably have so much insecurity in themselves that they're kind of portraying that towards you. That's just how humans are. Until next time, I guess. Until tomorrow. I wish I had more value for you today. I have. But I should probably have picked up something before. But then I knew the battery was almost dead, so what you gonna do about it? Tomorrow. Okay. A few thoughts. That was interesting. I can slightly remember when I was in that mode. Like, I had some tendencies to get into where I was going, but I had no idea what that meant. When I said be you, look past other people's judgment, sure, it's it's harder than it looks. I haven't had processed sugar in 3 weeks. Yeah, I was in the dream, I think, if for lack of a better term. It was like speaking out from my current level of knowledge, and now looking back at it, wow, that was really interesting because I know that I was full of doubt. I had no idea where I was going. I was just so committed to do the things. So you saw that this was 4 minutes long. I have someone that is just 5 seconds long, and then it's just me, or not even me. It's just a chair, an empty chair, and just the text still counts because it was hard. It was so hard to upload every single day. If I knew now what I knew, or if I knew then what I knew now, it would have been a completely different matter. But my laziness took over. So I guess the value nugget of this video today, it's hard. It's so fucking hard. When you start doing this, you're all alone. You're trying to figure out how to do it. You're trying to figure out how to do something that you have never done before, and you don't know how to do it. So you're trying to figure it out as you go. Build a plane in the air. It's a very interesting mindset to be in, and especially when you don't even know what that mindset is. Like, I was so proud for not having processed sugar. But dude, it's I know if I had told him back then, maybe you picked that up, but I said I wouldn't talk about marketing in this. And that was my mindset. My mindset was teaching people about marketing. Today, I would say it's not about the marketing, it's about who you are. So marketing back then was doing the outreach, as I said in the video, doing all these things, reaching out to people, talk to people, try to make better graphics, do all these things, right? Well, marketing is just being you and then communicating your value to the people who needs your value, who needs what you have. If he knew that, he could have focused on so much more than what he filled his days with, because I was just watching videos, I was just reading about marketing. I hadn't really read anything of value. Like The Alchemist, that was not on the to-do list. None of the personal development books was on the to-do list. Tai Lopez was the biggest influence of the day. It's like jumping out of the plane without a parachute. It's exactly like that. When you do something where you have no idea if you're going to survive, if you're going to do anything that is wrong, and if this is going to work, all the doubt, all that stuff, it's freaking nerve-wracking. It's something that I can't even start to communicate that. Because when I talk to people that are on the journey, that wants what I wanted back then, they will say, how can I best make money? How can I best attain freedom? How can I best do this to live my ultimate life, right? Well, it's not that easy, because you need value and you need to trust yourself. You need to have that self-love. You need to have that self-sustainability. If you don't know how to get yourself out of rut, how the heck are you going to do something that is required? It's requiring so much more of you than you could ever imagine. But, this is where there's a but. I was doing the tactics. That was all I was focused on back then. I was only focusing on the tactics, the strategies, the step-by-step reaching out things, how to be more efficient in sending out bullshit emails or messages, all that stuff. In all reality, it means this. Know your worth, know what you're capable of, know what you know how to do, right? Let's just do a very short sum up of what he should have heard. If you know what you are good at, if you have a hobby, if you have something, then you know that you're good at it. It doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't have to be you trying to do this for money, but you try to help people with that. Go out there and help someone with something that you really intuitively know to your bone, or something that you want to learn more about. Then when you do that, you're going to get that positive feedback. When you get the gratitude of people who gets help from what you know intuitively well, they're going to love it. And that feedback is going to fuel you. And when that fuels you, you want to be efficient. You want to see, how can I do more of this? Because this feels freaking amazing. That's fulfillment, right? When you have the fulfillment, then you can start to think about how you can package it. You can start to structure it like, okay, I'm good at this. This is the best thing I know. Then is this and this and this. This fits in a category. I can make this a thing. Like, you go into this thing, and there's 4 chapters, and you're going to learn this, 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 and this. And then I'm going to just serve the people that needs that help. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to improve on it. And when I'm improving on it, I'm going to feel better. And when I get more time, I'm going to be able to further improve on myself, because personal development should be numero uno. Seriously, I can't even fathom what would happen if I was to actually do personal development back then, because it's so huge. When you see what you are capable of, you see what your words are capable of, it is literally magic, because you're now listening to what I'm thinking live, real time, as I'm saying these things. I have no clue about what I'm going to say next, right? So this is magic. I could say something that's going to completely ruin my life, or I can say something that is going to bring someone up, or I can say something to just fill the air, right? So know what you have. You could pull people down, as many people would do. They would say things like, late again, right? This is an actual example. If you're listening to this, thank you for sharing that, because those are perfect examples of, we don't really realize that we have these sentences that could bring someone down, right? These negatively loaded sentences that could toss a seed of negativity out there. Someone all of a sudden hear this, and they're going to think about it, and go, right? So not speaking until you have something good to say, I guess. And then going in and see, how can I train my mind? How can I train my body? How can I become a better person? How can I become having a better life? All that stuff. Personal development. Change my life. Practice what you preach. Yes. Walk the freaking talk. There's so many overweight fitness instructors out there. I get sick of it. The whole point is being so confident in what you do that you're like the bird. I love this analogy. I'm going to overuse it over the years to come. You have so much faith in your own wings that you do not fear the broken branch that you're standing on. With that, you know your value. You know what you're capable of, and you know that you can help people get to where they want to be, right? You got to where you were because you stood on the shoulders of giants. So now you are the shoulders that they could stand on. It's like a domino effect. It's like just passing it forward, right? But you have to live it. You have to actually be authentic in being in it. You can't say, you should do this, and then not having tried that yourself. This is actually a good point for another story. It's about Gandhi. He's a good dude. Basically, a woman and her son approached Gandhi. I've said this a lot of times. But they approached Gandhi, and she asked, "Can you make my son stop eating sugar?" And Gandhi leans over, and he says, "Come back in 3 days." And so she leaves, and she comes back in 3 days. And then Gandhi turns over, looks her son square in the eye, and say, "Stop eating sugar." And he goes back. She, of course, looks at him and like, "Why did you just say that 3 days ago?" And then he's looking her square in the face. It says, "Because 3 days ago, I was still eating sugar." Live your truth. If you speak your truth, your authentic truth, you're gonna feel the energy of that truth. And the people who's listening to that, the experience, you having been through the shit, you know what you're talking about because you are that, they're gonna feel that energy too. So if you are working out, let's say that you're working out, you're going through all of these phases, you know how those feel, and you can actually communicate those because you know exactly how they feel. I can't do that. I have not worked out enough to know how that feels. I could talk you through meditation. I could talk you through a psychedelic trip. I could talk you through the sheer pain and terror of being woken up by 2 police officers after you torch a mall. That's not a good feeling either. So knowing that you have been there, have a different energy altogether. It's pretty amazing. Yeah. But we're going to talk about a lot of those things. I'm just having problems in structuring it because time. If someone now is listening to this, and if you're living in the year 2030 or something, doesn't count because I imagine that we have some of this technology when we get to that point. If we're really lucky. I need a time machine. Or a time stretcher. Or a time manipulator. Something that it just, I need more hours in the day. That would be amazing. The last few days I've been on this whole summer vacation thing, which has just completely taken everything out of me. Which is weird, right? But then again, I was living in a tent, so I didn't sleep a lot. But I did see some amazing sunsets. I did have some amazing thoughts. It did do some amazing things to my whole mental capacity. It was amazing. So I'm gonna reel it in because today, visitors that's been with us for 8 days, we have not been alone since the summer vacation started. So now we're getting back into the normal day-to-day. All of a sudden, school starts, and then I'll have my days back. I'll have 8 hours, ideally, to work every day if I choose to. I look forward to that, which is an amazing feeling, which is something that I should have told this dude 3 years ago. Because if you truly love what you do, you will not work a day in your life. And this is so fucking true. I miss sitting and working. I miss talking to people when I'm not doing it. I miss all of it when I'm not actively working. I just have to find the balance, which is something that I'm working on right now. So there's that. Time seems to be moving so fast. It is moving too fast. Son is starting school. My daughter is turning 4. I'm feeling old almost. But then again, I'm probably more childish than my children. I'm trying to become a ninja. I'm trying to become a Spider-Man ninja. All right. This was a good stream. I was not aware that we were going to go for 36 minutes or 40 minutes, just about. Because I don't know if you can see it, but I'm tired. I'm so summer lagged. But if you want to know more about this whole thing, you should head over to that and create a free account, because right now I'm creating these things, these educational steps in an email list. I hate spam. So most marketers will spam you every day, actually up to 3 times a day. And if they have a launch, even more. So that's just the whole, you trying to be the center of attention, right? Marketers today will just try to be stuck in the front of your mind. And if they do so, they think that because it's said that people need to see you 7 times until they buy from you, they will just continue to spam you. This is not what I want to do. I want to have an email list that has true, real, bona fide value, that is going to teach about meditation, personal development. Maybe I'm going to share something of the blog. If you haven't checked out the blog, that is also on the FMLproject.com. Trying to take that way more serious. And lots of things are coming. I'm just taking it one step at a time. Spam is absolutely. It's weird that people are still doing it somehow. But also, again, most people are not aware about how marketing works. Like, I've been analyzing newspapers lately. Just the headlines they're using. The wording. The specific words they use and the specific structure they use it in. I'm like, holy crap. They're using the ADA formula. They're going through this. Getting their attention. Getting their interest. Fueling the desire, although in this case it's fear. And then wanting them to do something, right? The fucking Prime Minister is using mental health as an excuse to make people vote for her. I'm like, knowing that system has been on the rocker since way before the pandemic, it makes me sick to my stomach. It truly makes me sick to my stomach. So before I stop this episode right now, I'm going to say to you that there's a revolution going on, all right? True, it's a fucking revolution. And what we're doing is trying to save the future of our children. Because right now, how many parents do you know who would just give their children an iPad or an iPhone or whatever it is. This weekend, I was talking to a 12-year-old with an iPhone who was on this iPhone for at least 8 hours a day, talking to friends because, you know, that's where the friends are on the social media. And she felt fucking horrible. Really freaking horrible. She was on the bottom of where she should be because she was multi-talented. She was beautiful on the soul in, like, okay, this is hard for me to explain, but she was more deep than most of the people that I talk to who are adults. But she couldn't see her value. She could not see how extremely unique she was. And this is something that goes in everyone. Any kid knows how hard it is to be a kid, right? We all remember the teenage years, but we never had it like they have it right now, where you are bullied over social media because people are not having the balls to do it face-to-face anymore. And if they do it face-to-face, they're probably backed by a freaking platoon of other people. Robots. Walking around in the same Canada Goose jacket. It appalls me. Then you have the media. Most people don't know how the media works. They don't know that the media is there to make money, right? They do not know that they are the product. They are feeding the machine. They're walking around in their 9 to 5, having their job, hating their life, complaining about their life, watching the news, binge drinking in the evenings, and then watching Netflix until they continue the rat race. Just continue the thing. Complaining and complaining. Not having anything against people complaining, but if you are complaining, I don't feel bad for you because we have so much. Every freaking mind in the history of mankind is stored in your pocket, and you can access it at any time. So we have to make a change. We have to make people see what's possible, and the mental health is atrocious. Looking at what the politicians are talking about, the mental health, trying to make it so that, we're trying to take this seriously now after freaking decades of not doing so, and talking to the people who's actually been through the system, knowing that they just get fed all these addictive medication to get out of these things, when there are so many other alternatives. But also, if people were to think free like this, the government would be in power, or would not be in power. They would lose power. They would not like to lose power, so they would do anything in their power to not lose the power, right? There are so many things that we have to change. So many things. I mean, there's no logics in the fact that our pharmaceutical company owns 1/3 of the world's agricultural food supply, but hey, that happened. You know, so this is my intention with the FML project, is to help people get through their own shit. If they have mental issues, if they are on the bottom in life, if they want to do something they don't know how to do, if they have something they want to achieve, if they feel called to do something, if they feel like they are depressed and have anxiety and all these things, if they want to do something more with their life, the FML project is designed to do that. And if they want to do even more, the FML project does online business too. And that has been the problem, because I do personal development and online business. Now that sounds really easy. Personal development, online business. It wasn't that long ago I said, well, I'm a coach, a transformational freedom coach doing quantum physics and epigenetics, using esoteric knowledge and modern science to forge your legacy and create your dream life. Nobody knows what that means, bro. So, personal development and online business coaching is a lot easier. And I'm going to share some tips, share some tricks, try to get people to see that they are capable of doing something with their own mind. They are capable of creating something with their own value, and they are able to create whatever reality they want to be a part of. Because right now, most people have settled. They have settled for what they have been told is the way to live. And we are living in an environment that we are not evolutionary capable of living in. Which sounds weird because we're living in it, but we are living under constant stress. We're living in constant anxiety. We are always having stress hormones fire. Our amygdalas are vibrating at all times. because we have unpaid bills, because we don't know what's going to happen next week. All these things, right? We have outgrown our evolutionary brain, which means that we have to start to adapt to the society that we're in, which means that we have to get more into nature. We have to get more in contact with who we are. We need to get more in contact with the universe and see who we truly are. Because if we don't, well, just seeing the fishing industry, we're going to be out of business, or no, out of the world by 2048. Simply because we're fucking it up. We're fucking up everything. And everything is cloaked in lies. Oh, the cloak of fakeness. There's so much going on, and so many people know about this, and we need to do a change. So this is that, for my part, trying to do a change. And the things that I can't share with you right now, I'm going to share a little bit. Because we're actually curing a world problem, a global problem. And we're the only one in the world with the patent on this. Which means that nobody else in the entire planet have access to this technology. And it has already gained the attention of a lot of astrophysicists and politicians and all those beautiful things, because it actually solves a problem. But it has a lot of work to do before we can actually present it, which is why I have to keep it a little secret, right? But when that happens, when we have that in the box, and when this other thing happens, which is going to happen on the 5th, I believe, not going to promise, then I'll have the capabilities to do some magic change. I'm saying magic because there's going to be some freaking amazing things happening where we can actually create some events. We can create venues. We can amass people. We can actually have people gathering. I can fly in people if need be to actually show that we have had enough of this shit, to use these powers to find other communities like this around the world and unite. Oh, bam! Unity! See, I was a gamer. I was such a gamer. I played games all the time. And I loved Assassin's Creed. I have all of them. So much so that I bought the special edition. And then I bought this for Assassin's Creed Unity, which was a horror show. It was not as good as the others, but for some reason I didn't realize that. I didn't think about that. With the things that has happened happened lately, the things that has happened in my life, I caught myself sitting in this sweater that I haven't used for years, literally since 2014, and it says Unity on it. You know? I'm taking that as a sign. Do with it as you please. It's a sign. So yeah, a lot of things are happening. Valhalla. I haven't tried it yet. But by Thor's beard, I love Valhalla. Like, just everything. I can't afford myself to play it right now because I know I would be obsessed. I would not be able to pull myself out of it. I will play that game. Don't ruin it for me. I'm looking forward to it. But also, I have been on the live shows, the festival where I met my girlfriend, where my life changed. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 𝐒𝐡𝐢𝐼, the guy that has the music of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, played. And it changed my life. So I have that on a special place just for yes, I'm going to set off a week to just do that when I have the chance. Until then, I'm going to start to just continue the plan to create the sanatorium called Valhalla, which is one of the plans that I'm working towards, because I'm going to have a Valhalla health center thing, a Norse theme with all his personal development in Norway, and we're going to work to have, in the spirit of 𝐒𝐡𝐞 9 other centers around the world. It's going to be amazing. I look like the character in Valhalla. Thank you! Although he does have a way better set of hair. One day, if I have the funds, maybe I can transplant some hair from my ass. It's going to be amazing. Alright, I have to log off. Chris, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here, as always. And for the other people watching this in the future or right now, feel free to like, And to, what is that after that? Subscribe and share and comment and do all those things, because we're trying to make sure that the algorithm sees that this stream, these videos actually have value, so that they will not shadow ban them, which they do quite a lot with people. Thank you so much for being here. Have a fantastic day. Remember, Chris, go into that. The axe in the background looks like a horn, so let's call you One Horn Viking. I like that. I'm going to show you my horn next time, because I do have a horn, and my daughter knows how to blow it. Like, she actually knows how to blow a Viking horn, which is, I couldn't be more proud. Love it. All right. I love the heck out of you, and I hope that you're having a fantastic week that's coming, and I will see you in the next one. I'll try not to miss it next time. Peace!